Hello viewers, how are you doing today? I'm here to explain EU settlement scheme in just a couple of minutes in easy words so everybody can understand it. Actually, the EU settlement scheme been introduced by UK for the European people, the Swiss national and their family members to apply to remain in UK following its departure from the European Union, especially the non-European people who got the biometric resident card that won't work after December 2020. They have to apply through the European settlement scheme to get the settled status or the pre-settled status because of accordingly the eligibility criteria they meet. So how it works is the settlement scheme been fully open on 29th of March 2019. Under the current government policy, free movement will officially end at the end of December 2020. Anyone who establishes the residence in UK by the end of December 2020 is eligible to apply. So the UK and European withdrawal agreement, which is like a 6 months grace period as well. So this would mean a final deadline would be the 30th of June 2020. There are two visa systems you can be eligible. It depends on your situation, the criteria you meet. So I'm going to start with the pre-settled status. So I'm going to explain in easy word the pre-settled status. This is a status which will be valid for 5 years, which is also called the limited leave to remain. So you have to provide the evidence in UK at least a 1 day out of the 6 months in your last residence in the UK. So if you are the family member of the European people, like non-EU family members I mean. So if you are the non-EU family member of the national, European national, you have to provide the proof of your relationship with the EU national partner as well. So this is quite easy and simple, but there was some exception as well to this status. You have to be in the UK not throughout the 5 years, but you can't leave the UK for continuously of 2 years in the last 5 years. Like in the 5 years period, you can't leave the country. Like you can't leave the UK for 2 years. You will lose the status to go for the settled status, which would you be eligible after the 5 years of your pre-settled status. So this would be valid, but there's a one exception which is recently come by the Home Office. If you want to make sure that you're going to be successful for the settled status continuously 6 months leave from the UK, if you are going out of the UK for continuously the 6 months, that's gonna affect your status apply for in future when you're going to apply for the settled status. So be careful if you want to leave the country, must not leave continuously 6 months, and secondly you can't leave in the 5 years period more than 2 years. So you need to make sure about that, otherwise you might face some problems or difficulties while you're applying for the settled status. Sorry. And the other status is a settled status, which is an indefinite leave to remain, which is equal to ILR, which is normally the visa which has been in under the UK immigration system. You have to prove the 5 years continuous residence in UK. If you provide the 6 months residence in last 12 months, that would be considered as a 1 year. That's quite a good thing. I think you would be happy. After the 1 years, after 1 years of keeping your settled status, after the 1 year keeping the settled status, you would be eligible for the British citizenship. Yes, that's a quite good thing. The good thing in this is like this is quite simple and easy. Like you don't need to show any European treaty rights you're exercising. It's purely based on the residence basis. If you're living in the UK, that would be perfect and the easy way to get settlement in the UK. And last thing I'm going to mention is while you're providing the evidence regarding your living in the UK, the proof of residence in UK, what kind of evidence you can provide. So here I have some list that would be might helpful for you guys. So the number one, if you're proving like you are applying for the settled status, you can provide the evidence of the long period covering evidences. For example, I'm giving an example like annual bank statements, account summary, or showing at least the 6 months of your payments, receiving or spending in UK, your bank statements. This could be if you have a bank account in any of the bank in UK and it's on the same address like which you're proving that you've been in the UK, you can provide your bank statement as a proof, and this is a valid proof as well. So if you have a bank account, don't worry about it. This will cover and consider as your residence in UK. And the secondly, employer letter regarding your employment. You can submit the P45. You can submit the P60 and council tax. So these are the basic and like easy gaining documents which you can provide for your long-term evidences. And the secondly, if you want to provide the evidence for the shorter period of time, then what you can do is you can provide like a shorter period of documents. For example, internet bill. You can provide any invoices, like if you want to prove a 1 day or less than 6 months to prove your pre-settled status, you can use the invoices. You can use any any if you have paid any fees for your children in the schools, and secondly, if you have any mortgage statements. So you can use anything, probably I would say that anything like where you can show that you are in the UK. Even for the 1 day proof, you can use your boarding pass as well. If you have booked the ticket, that's a valid proof as well. So I would suggest you to do it as soon as possible if you're falling in this category. If you're a non-EU family member, or if you're a European national or the Swiss national, I would suggest you to do it as soon as possible to avoid any problems. And right now, after the COVID-19, the things are getting a little bit delayed, and like they are taking more time now, especially the non-EU people, the non-EU family members. They are taking the application approximately on average like 5 months or 6 months. Some people get it early as well. But if you provide your European national application reference number in your application as a non-EU family member, your application would be successful like comparatively sooner on early stages. Like it would take less time comparatively when you don't use application reference number of your European family member. Hopefully you enjoy the video, and see you next time.